Welcome back to the channel. So if you're looking for the thinnest possible case you can buy that still provides a decent level of drop protection, well, that's what we're talking about today. We have two options, one from Caudabe, the Caudabe Sheath, and a second one from Smartish, the Smartish Gripmunk. Both of these cases are now available as MagSafe cases. So we're going to take a close-up look at each of these cases and talk about some of the similarities and differences you'll find with each case. These cases are very close to one another. They resemble each other quite a bit. There are some differences. One of them is the price. The Smartish Gripmunk is $15. The Caudabe Sheath is $36. So the Caudabe Sheath definitely is more expensive. You also have to buy the Caudabe Sheath at Caudabe.com, which is a great experience. I've ordered from them before. No problems in terms of shipping times or delivery. It gets to your door very quickly. You can pick up the Gripmunk though on Amazon.com. So if Amazon is something that's key to you, or the price is something that is your deciding factor, you're definitely gonna wanna go with the Smartish Gripmunk. However, both cases are great cases. These are two of my favorite cases. So I want to get into what makes each of these cases unique and why would I recommend them to you. So let's get into it. So first up, the Caudabe Sheath, it comes in a few different colors. It comes in a black, which we're featuring today, but you also get it in a gray color. You can pick up a Mesa blue, a navy, or a camo green. Essentially, Caudabe says this is made of a soft gel-like polymer that they call Shocklite, and it's been drop tested up to 6.6 feet, and it is 0.9 millimeters thick at its thickest points. So the key here is you're getting a phone case that is pretty thin and yet promises a solid level of drop protection above up to 6.6 feet. So if I were to raise this above my head, I'm 6 feet tall. So as long as I'm not dropping this, from above my head, I should be okay. And I will say this, I have dropped my phone in this case and it has done just fine. So no issues with drops in terms of my experience. Now, as I will always say, your experience may vary. So you always want to be careful. You don't want to just go around dropping your phone all the time. But one of the cool things about this is they finally did release this with MagSafe this year. So you get the benefit of being able to use this with a MagSafe wallet or car adapter or the charging puck. So pretty cool phone case. And then over here we have the Smartish Gripmunk. This also is a pretty thin case. I would put this on par with the Caudabe Sheath. That's why we're comparing these two cases together. There's a lot of similarities here. They don't actually list the thickness on their website, but just feeling the hand, to me, they're about the same level of thinness in terms of the thinness of the material that's sitting around your phone. So your phone feels less bulky than in other cases. So you can pick up the Smartish Gripmunk on Amazon for $15, and there are several different color options, including Black Tie Affair, which is what we're looking at today, You're Just Jelly Purple, Blues on the Green Blue, Nothing to Hide, that's a clear case, Chef's Special, which is kind of a metallic backing, and their Flavor of the Month, which is a flowery pattern. It's a flower pattern. So if you like flowers on the back of your case, go with Flavor of the Month. So we talked price, $15 for the Caudabe case, $36 for the Caudabe Sheath. Let's talk about drop protection. As I mentioned before, the Sheath is rated up to 6.6 feet or tested to 6.6 feet of drop protection by Caudabe. The Smartish does not advertise drop protection. However, there are air pockets in this case, in the corners of the case. They've built in air pockets to help with drop protection. So personally, I feel like they've done enough here in terms of drop protection for me. So I feel confident putting my phone into the Smartish Gripmunk and not worrying about the drops that I might have. Now, there's a couple reasons why. Number one, I don't drop my phone that often. I have dropped my phone. I do on occasion. However, secondly, Apple, the iPhones are a lot tougher these days and they can handle drops a lot better. So That combined with the air pockets on the case, the way this case is made, I feel pretty confident in putting my phone in this case and it's gonna be okay. This one, you know, I feel even more confident. So they've tested up to 6.6 feet. They advertise that. So if you want more certainty around drop protection, you're gonna wanna pick up the Caudabe. But for me personally, I feel both cases are just fine in terms of the level of drop protection they're going to provide. So let's take a look at the lip around the front of the screen. Let me put this in the case here. You do get a little bit more of a lip, and you can see that right in here on the Smartish Gripmunk. The lip is deeper, and I'm actually using a screen protector. So there's a screen protector on my phone right now. So even with that screen protector, you can definitely see how nice the lip is around this case. One of the cool things I really like about this case is just I'm not sure why they did this. I think they actually, if you look here at the top, you can see the gold from the rim around the phone kind of showing through. And I think that's to give your speaker a little bit more, or the earpiece up here at the top, to the speaker at the top of your phone, to give it a little more space, a little more room. But I love how you get that little gold accent kind of showing through at the top of the case. You know, it's a really small detail, but it does add a bit of elegance to this case that I really like. So that is the Smartish Gripmunk. So you do get a nice lip, as I said before, all around the case. Let's take a look at the Caudabe Sheath. And same thing here on the sheath. The sheath does have a nice lip around it. However, you will see, especially because I'm utilizing a screen protector, the lip is a little bit less. So it's a little more shallow. Now it looks, you can really see a good difference here in the top corner. It's a little more shallow than the Gripmunk. You still do get a decent lip, and without the screen protector on, there would even be more of a dramatic lip around the front of the phone. I feel completely fine with the level of lip you get, especially since I have that screen protector on it, and I'm using the Spigen Easy Fit screen protector. If you need a recommendation there, I'll leave a link to a review of that one down below. But because these are so affordable, you know, I just like having a sense of security. You know, it really reduces any anxiety I might have about setting my phone down on the face. So that's what I really like about using a screen cover. So that is the front of and the lip on the sheath. Let's take a look at the camera hump. Both phone cases, you get a really nice camera hump. So if I turn that way, you can just see that you're gonna get really good protection around your camera lenses. So no issues at all in terms of the camera hump. And before I change the case over again, I do want to show you the buttons. Lots of room on the mute rocker, plenty of room there to access that. Also, if you notice, your buttons are super clicky and they've cut out part of the button material here. That just makes the material around the buttons more malleable, which equals clickier buttons. So that works great. If I turn this over for the power, same thing there. You can see the gold showing through. You can see how they have cut out some of that material. Now I know some people might complain that maybe there's dust that can get in there. I haven't found any issues with dust happening. I appreciate the clickiness of the button. And then if I go down to the bottom, you have your power port and your speaker grill cutouts. Plenty of room in terms of the power port. A nice large cutout for that. And you know, speaker grill cutouts are speaker grill cutouts. So, but everything is nicely aligned in the right position. The other thing about the Caudabe Sheath is you only get this little tiny branding hit. So it's really nice just to have a light touch in terms of branding. All right, let's put on the Smartish. Show you a little bit of a difference here. All right, so we're looking at the camera cutouts. So if I turn it this way, I do think this is even deeper. So you do get a deeper cutout for your camera lenses. You know, and one of the ways to look at that is it more protection? Potentially, yes. Would I say that maybe in terms of the lip around the front of the screen and the lip around your camera cutouts, are you getting a little bit more protection on the Smartish case? You are. However, that is adding to a bulkier feel in the hand. So, you know, you're just trying to balance what level of risk are you willing to take. But you do get a nice cutout. I actually like the way the cutout looks. It has a nice design to it. It's a pretty hard material there. But I like the way that looks. A nice deep cutout for your camera lenses there. And let's take a look at the buttons here. Again, you don't have the material cut out around the button, but these buttons are plenty clicky, no issues at all in terms of clicking the button. It's aligned in the right spot. Here's your volume up and down buttons. And then I think this is an even larger cutout for the mute rocker, so even more room to access the mute rocker. We're gonna get to this part right here in just a second. But before we do that, here is the bottom of the phone. Nice large cutout for your power port. Solid cutouts for your speaker grills. And then in terms of branding, still pretty minimal, I would say, but you do get a little bit more of a branding hit. You know, it's just a tad bit larger, but still, I mean, that's very minimal in terms of the branding. And while I take the phone out of the case, I do want to show you the inside here. One of the differences is, so here's kind of the inside of the Smartish case, and you do get, this is felt material, so you get nice felt material to rest against the back of your phone and prevent any scratches. You do not get felt on the inside of the Caudabe case, but I haven't had zero issues with any scratching from this case, so I feel very confident in utilizing this case, even though it's not felt on the inside. All right, let's talk about the uniqueness of these cases. So one of the things that I would say are very unique about them is the feel in the hand. Both of these cases have a really nice feel in the hand, but also they're super grippy. And I would probably put, I mean, they're pretty much on par in terms of grippiness, but the Smartish Gripmunk, just around the edges here where you grab onto, it's just a super grippy texture. If you look right in there, you can just kind of see, let's see if I can get closer here. You can see that texture. And that's all around the edges and the top and the bottom of the phone. You get all of that texture. You also get some grooves. So if you notice here, there's kind of grooves in there, and that's just to give you, you know, a nice grip in the hand. So in terms of comfort and grip, very grippy cases, very comfortable cases to hold. I like that, you know, you get some nice soft rounded edges around the four corners, so you're not going to have anything hard that's kind of cutting into your hand or anything like that as you're holding or handling these phones. One of the differences, you'll see that there's texture on the sheath as well. However, on the back of the Smartish Gripmunk, this is much more smooth. It's still not, you know, I would say it's still fairly grippy, but it is much more smooth than on the Caudabe case. The Caudabe Sheath, the texture does come around onto the back of the case, whereas here it's really around the sides, the top, and the bottom. One other thing before we move back over to the sheath is I want to talk about fit on the phone. How do these cases fit? Both of them fit very snug. There's no risk at these coming off. There is a tiny bit of play up top, but I'm pressing pretty hard here to get that to even budge. Now on the bottom, let's try that. A little bit more play, although it comes back just fine, but there's a little play there. It means thinner material happening on the sides. Let's see here. I mean, you can peel it away from the phone, but I'm having to press pretty hard to do that. And I mean, while it's on the phone, it fits tight, it fits snug. It doesn't seem like it's going at risk of coming off. Now, I've had phones before where the bottom flap is like so loose that I end up just playing with this all the time, and that's not the case here. So I would say it's got a really nice snug fit. All right, so we put on the Caudabe Sheath case here, and let's talk about the feel in the hand and the grip. So I will say a couple things. I do feel like the sheath is a slight bit, so when you think about, like, I'm gonna call it depth. So if I put these two things up next to each other, like the, I don't know if I'd call this the bulk of the phone maybe, or the depth of the phone, I do feel like the sheath is a slight bit sleeker, let's call it that way. And so that translates to a nice feel in the hand. It does feel a little bit thinner overall in terms of a case than the Gripmunk. The Gripmunk, it has a couple things, obviously a deeper lip around the front, deeper camera cutout that just makes it feel a little bit more bulky than the Sheath. So if you're looking for something that's a little more sleek, even thinner in the hand, then you want to definitely take a look at the Sheath, but you don't sacrifice any level of grip, because if you look right in here, you can see that texture that sits on, it's a part of the Sheath, and that texture is all around the case. Oh, you can see it really nice on the side here. On the sides of the case, on the top and the bottom of the case, there's a really solid, really good texture all around the case that is gonna keep this phone in your hand and help to prevent drops. All right, so let's take one more look around each of these cases. Just wanna give you a nice up close look. We'll start off with the Sheath here. A couple things about the Sheath. It's a very elegant, understated, simple look. You do get a little line here that is a little bit of a design touch, design hit, but otherwise it's a fairly minimal case. There's the branding again. And there's the, let's see, let's take a look at that camera cutout. So plenty of protection around the camera lenses. Here is the buttons on both sides. Here's the bottom of the case. Again, the buttons and that texture runs all the way along the side of it. And then if you want to see the front of the case and how this looks on your phone, it's just a nice, simple, thin case, elegant, fit in a boardroom, that does provide a nice level of drop protection, being 6.6 feet. So that's the Caudabe Sheath. Again, $36, Caudabe.com. And then one last time, let's take a look at the Smartish Gripmunk. Here is the front of the phone. Again, I really like how they did cut away the top portion around the speaker grill at the top, and it just kind of shows the gold rim of this gold iPhone. It's just a nice, you know, I'm kind of nerding out over the case right now, but I like that aspect of this case. You do get a nice lip around your screen, so you're gonna get plenty of protection. There's that lip right there. Very nice cutout for your mute rocker, very large cutout. Buttons are just fine, plenty clicky. Get that texture and that riveting around the sides so you can grab onto the phone. You're not gonna lose this phone in your grip. And then on the back, I really like the design of their camera cutout. Kind of has this little thicker edge to it. It looks nice on the back of the phone. It is a little bit smoother here, so the texture does not continue onto the back. The texture is mainly around the edges. And then you get that Smartish branding hit. I also like how you get kind of a line all the way around, kind of this, what do you call that, glossy kind of line to the case, so it adds a little bit. So both of these cases, understated design, simple, minimal, and yet elegant. Both cases look really nice on the phone. So that is the Smartish Gripmunk and the Caudabe Sheath. Two great cases. If you're looking for something that's thin but still provide a nice level of drop protection, elegant design, simple, has really solid grip because of how the cases are textured and the patterning around the cases. you should check these out. Again, Smartish is $15 on Amazon. The Caudabe Sheath runs about $36, although they're always running deals on their website, so go check out Caudabe.com. Maybe there's a good deal running. And either way, I have no problems recommending either one of these cases. So I hope this comparison helped. If it did, if it helped you in your purchasing decision, hey, give me a subscribe, give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks. Peace.